Good morning, everyone. Myself, Vivek Bangale, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, Sai of Technology, Rajankote, Bengaluru. In today's concept, we're going to see internet application. Why this internet application? Why they get internet application means whenever the user are interacting with any of the application, or for example, consider the Flipkart only. The Flipkart has the as I am a user, I want to interact with the application. So then by front end application, by front end GUI, once I log in into the Flipkart, I can able to see what are the product are there on the Flipkart. Then the product information where it will be stored at some anywhere in the server. So I don't bother about that information where the actually the data has been stored. Just I want to need that information. What this product and what is the price of the product and what is the quality of the product, what is the view of this product, right? So in order to communicate the user with the database application, this process it contains three architecture. It That's why we say it is a three-tier application architecture. Any of the application, Flipkart, Amazon, these are all using a three-tier application. These are we said a three-tier application because the front-end application and the back-end application. The front-end application may be any Java. The front-end application may be the DBMS. In order to interact between the back-end and front-end, we need one more layer in the middle. It is intermediate layer. So these three layers, think of these three layers only any e-commerce website in order to go to helpful to retrieve the data from the DBMS. So many web applications uses an architecture called three-tier architecture, which are an intermediate layer between the client and the database server. Client nothing but the we as with the user. The user with the help of GUI, he going to interact. For example, I want to retrieve the information like I log in into the Flipkart and I want to purchase a book from the Flipkart. So the book information is there at the database server. But how I have to retrieve that information which is there in the database server with help of GUI. So I log in with the GUI. That information is that request is sent to the application server or the web server. This it will take the request from the client. Here the queries will be there. The query will get processed here, and that request will be sent to the database system. According to the request which is sent by the client, this application server, it will retrieve the data from the database server and send back the result to the client. So the intermediate layer or the middle tier, we said the middle tier, we said is application server. The server is used to store the business rules that are used to access data from the database server. We're going to process here and we're going to retrieve the data from the database server. And also it also improves the database security because it's going to retrieve only the data from the server only when the client is an authorized person or not. If the client is authorized person, then only it's going to retrieve the data and send the result to the client. Otherwise, it will not send that data to the client. So by using the middle tier, his application server, we in our from here we're going to security problem is also get reduced. So client contains the GUI interface and some additional application specific business rules. With help of GUI interface, he going to interact with the database server. So in middle we have an intermediate server. It accepts the request from the client, process the request and send database server and then act as a contact for passing partial processed data from the database server to the client. What partial data means? In the database, the data is going to be stored with like data type. Some of the constraints we're going to add up, and we're going to store the data. So while displaying the data to the client, those data types and the constraints will not visible for the client. It will get hide, right? That we have seen in the three schema architecture. So it's going to hide the data, and the data is not going to be displayed for the client, where it may be processed further and filtered to be presented to user in GUI format. Hence, the user interface, application rule, and data access acts as the three-tier application. Three-tier application is used in the internet application. So basically, GUI, the client will be interact with the database with the help of application server. That's why these three we say it as a three-tier architecture.